channel. It's your girl Jackie Ina. If you are new here, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me on today's video. Contrary to what most people think about me, I actually enjoy and indulge in makeup of all categories, all budgets, all price ranges. I really don't care if it looks good. That's all that matters to me. I just love makeup. I consider myself a savvy makeup person, a pretty savvy shopper. Like, I can tell people when to splurge, when not to splurge, you know, when to dupe, when not to dupe. What I don't like is when somebody says that something is a dupe of something and it's like not even close. Like, not even close. Okay, if you don't know what a dupe is, which I'm surely you do, but dupe is short for duplicate. Like, it's supposed to be like a carbon copy, if not like something that performs just as good, if not better than the original, right? And the idea is to save a couple bucks. Like, it's to save a couple bucks, or like, let's say for example, you live in a country where that certain brand doesn't ship, then you find dupes of where you can get that similar look for where you live or for where you can shop. Or what if your favorite product is sold out? Okay, here's the next best thing. You guys know where I'm going with this. I've been involved in the makeup community for a long time, and I love how just so smart people are, and they're able to like pick up and find things that replicate really popular, especially really expensive products. I just hate it when the dupe is not, doesn't apply. So I'm gonna talk about, in my opinion, what I feel, especially because of YouTube, because YouTube is just sometimes the devil. I'm going to talk about what I feel are the biggest dupe fails, okay? Dupe myths. I'm going to throw in like actual valid dupes throughout the video, just so that y'all know there's a nice side to me, okay? And just to be very, very clear, these are a lot of brands and products that I actually do love, but I'm just reiterating that they don't compare to other products on the market. That's all this video is about. It's not to bash anything. It's not to say you have to spend more money. That's not at all the point that I'm trying to make. I know some people feel some type of way about these videos. I'm just putting it out there. Everybody deserves to know the truth, okay? So the first myth that I want to bust is anything and everything that is compared to the Holy Grail product, no, as NARS Creamy Radiance. Our Heavenly Father, please cast the first stone on anybody who compares anything to this concealer. I will say that there is a concealer, I'll talk about it a little bit later, that comes pretty close, that costs a hell of a lot less, but this is one of my all-time favorite concealers, and it gets compared a lot to Maybelline Fit Me. Now, I do believe that this one may be kind of a 50-50 because a lot of people are speculating that the lighter shades are slightly formulated differently than the darker shades. So I use number 30 Cafe, and this is a very it's a very sheer, actually it's not super sheer, I would say this is medium. It's definitely not buildable. It's a very sheer concealer. It's not nearly as buildable as I feel like NARS Creamy Radiant is. It is medium to full. You can also sheer this down. This makes a bomb foundation. It makes a bomb contour. This is just my all-in-one. This, for me, is just a little watery. But again, some people say the lighter shades come through and it feels like the exact same. I'm not going to doubt that. All I use is Cafe 30, so that's the only thing that I can attest to. But I really think some people are just using the word dupe a little too loosely these days, if you ask me. Before you talk crap in the comments, if you're watching this video, then that means you asked me, right? Okay, just saying. The next not so dupe that I want to talk about are the Real Technique sponges being compared to the beauty blenders. Now, I love the Pixie Woo girls. I think the way that they've just rocked the hell, I mean, I'm a fan of any creator turned businesswoman. I think the way that they've created this empire is freaking like goals. Like, I love Real Techniques products, and I don't necessarily think, now I could be wrong, but I don't necessarily think that they created the sponge to be a dead-on dupe for the beauty blender. Maybe to compete, but they do not feel the same. Like, anybody who uses and loves the beauty blender knows that they do not feel the same. I think that the Real Technique sponge is a great sponge. It's great as a sponge on its own, but it does not compare to, or it just doesn't do what the beauty blender does. Now, some people might feel like the beauty blender is way too soft, it's almost kind of velvety. I feel like this is a little bit more foamy, definitely thicker when you press down on it. This is almost kind of like pressing onto air. I don't think they do the same thing. First of all, they're not even shaped the same. Someone might like this flat edge a lot better for like maybe all over face. I just stop it. I don't mean that necessarily in a good or a bad way. Just throwing it out there. I just want people to be informed before they get their hopes high and they spend money on things, whether it be a $20 sponge or a $15. Actually, I think this is actually cheaper than 15. Yo, no shade at all, because I love me some Maybelline, but I have to say the blush nudes. This was probably one of the most highly anticipated drugstore palettes that launched. Was it this year or was it last year? I'm not sure. I don't remember. I love the color palette. I love the packaging is beautiful. Like, they did that. It's very luxe. It's very high-end looking. But this is always constantly, I mean, for obvious reason, but it almost looks like it could be a dead-on dupe for the big brother Naked 3. So my only issue, and because I am melanin infused, when I try on certain shades, what may actually show up on someone like Nikki Tutorials, because she's super fair, her skin is so light, what may fly for someone who's like light to medium, on me, that's where you'll really see the quality, especially on the darker shades. And I just felt like, this is the gray, okay? Like, I had to dig. I get a lot of amazing opportunities from all of the brands I'm going to talk about today, but I gotta spill the tea. This was just a mess for me. I love their mascaras, but the palettes, maybe they like unintentionally made the color palette like around the same. But girl, stack your coins, put it away if you like this color series, and just get the Urban Decay Naked 3. I'm telling you, because I care about you. The Lancome Teint Idole Ultra 24 Hours Foundation, which happens to be one of my favorites. This is the liquid version, is apparently the high-end version of the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte. They are not even close. I feel like the Lancome Teint Idole, it's not one of my more matter foundations, at least not on me over the years. I feel like when I first used it, it was really matte. This stuff will like suck your soul if you have dry skin. This is pretty identical, really close to the Tarte Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Foundation and the Becca Ever Matte Shine Proof. They're pretty much the exact same thing. However, I'm knocking off of points off of L'Oreal because I wear the darkest shade, and the darkest shade is in Cocoa, and it's a really rich, cool, reddish tone. So this is one of those foundations that I have to make work on my skin tone because I am very yellow. I'm very golden. So if you're looking for a very matte foundation that's got full coverage and will not budge throughout the day, but you're deeper and darker than me, then you're going to have to save up and go straight to Becca because they are here for the chocolate girls. This is actually I will say for both of them, Tarte and Becca, these foundation lines are pretty, like they have, I feel like, both cool and warm undertones. So if you're looking for shade diversity, definitely go higher end. Now the next comparison that I want to make, and don't take this personal, y'all, I know somebody's really going to feel some type of way. But I'm just telling you that colors look a little different on your girl as a chocolate rich honey. I love BH. I really love BH. I think some of the shimmers perform like bomb. Like the pigmentation is crazy, buttery, soft, super pigmented. Like the shimmers definitely do their job. And you can always tell how good quality a palette is by their dark matte. These just don't show up as much, or when you go to blend them out, they kind of disappear on my skin tone. So I'll give you an example. I took my Melt. This is one of my like rust or dark matte. I don't remember which stack this is, but it's a dark brown. And I'm going to compare that to the dark brown in the Marble Collection Cool Stone. Honestly, just when it comes to the darker colors, like now BH, the baked eyeshadows, girl, Those are my jam. I love the way that they do shimmers and like highlights, and there's a number of different products that I really, really like. As far as eyeshadow goes, they are great, but they, in my opinion, just do not compare to higher end eyeshadows when you compare the mattes, not necessarily the shimmers. I'm only talking about like the darker mattes. I still use their shadows. Like I just did a look using both of these palettes. They're bomb. I do think that they're bomb. I'm just explaining, you know, they're not the same because people like throwing out comparisons, and it's just like, did you try it on a black person or did you? Never mind. First of all, I'm gonna tell you right now, the NYX, what is this called? Micro Brow? Yeah, the Micro Brow Pencil and the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. It's the same exact thing. I like them both, but this is one of those things you can definitely trim off a couple dollars and just go lower end. I happen to think, dare I say, ColourPop eyeshadows are actually better than MAC. I think that they are way more pigmented. I think that they are a lot more bouncier, a lot more, they just literally just show up better on the skin. I don't like, however, how semi-quickly, if you are not careful, those ColourPop eyeshadows dry, girl. They dry out. And I know that now because a lot of the shadows that I used to use when I first started using the collection, I can't use anymore. Like I've had to buy backups, and that's not something that you encounter with regular eyeshadows, but it's because that formula is so unique. You have to keep the lid really tightly closed, and they even say that on the box, but even after doing all of that, it's like, okay, she been closed and untouched for like a year now, so it ain't me, it's you. I really, really like the Studio Skin 24-Hour Concealer from Smashbox. This is actually one of, in my opinion, the best concealers to launch this year, and it is almost dead on identical to the NYX HD Concealer. Do you guys remember when I did the high end versus low end? I like doing like one side of my face with completely different products on the other side just to see how they compare and wear throughout the day. And I actually was basically saying this is a lot like NARS Creamy Radiant. I actually feel like now that Smashbox has come out with Studio Skin, Studio Skin 24-Hour, they're a lot like almost the same exact thing. They almost kind of have that, I don't want to scare you by saying oily because it's not oily, but it's a little more hydrating, more creamier. Once you put on 24-hour Studio Skin, it sets. I actually tested this for 24 hours too. Just check out my videos. Check, because I got you. Now we all pretty much know, and if you don't know, and girl, I'm gonna need you to wake up and stop sleeping, that Kylie lip kits and the ColourPop liquid matte lipsticks are pretty much the same thing. We all know. We all get it. I do, however, think because a lot of people complain about the matte lips from ColourPop being really drying. I personally don't think that Kylie's lip kits are drying. I do think they're a little on the patchy side though. Like they're a little inconsistent. Maybe Kylie may have tweaked the ingredients in her kits a little bit because I don't feel like they're dry. I do feel like they are a little patchy though. Some of them are a little patchy. And we all know that Real Techniques and Morphe brushes make phenomenal brush dupes for a lot of different higher end brands. Morphe makes some of my favorite eye blending brushes, and Real Techniques, I think they kind of kill it in the complexion brush category. So there's that. And the last dupe that I have for you guys are the Maybelline Vivid Matte Liquids versus the Tarte lip paints, Tarteist lip paints. This is one of my favorite formulas for liquid lipsticks, but the only thing is if you don't like a liquid lipstick that still moves around and doesn't like fully dry down, you're not gonna like these because these are kind of like a gel. So if you like that feel and if you have really dry lips, then you'll really like both of these formulas. But Maybelline kind of did that and created a full line of liquid lipsticks this year. I love them. I love them. And they're pretty much the exact same formula. By the way, Maybelline, I see you with those lip palettes. And L'Oreal, I see you with those lip palettes too because they're bomb. Take all my coins. You can have it. I'm done. Retired. That's it. Alright guys, those are all of my dupe fails and successful dupes for today's video. Shout out to everybody on Twitter that kind of helped me put this video together because a lot of you guys contributed some ideas and products that you thought were dupe fails, and it kind of, I don't know, gave me the idea to do this video. So thank you so much for watching today's video. But while you're here, time out though, time out. We ain't done yet. I got a few, you know, check out the archives if you have not already, and subscribe on your way out before you leave. I would love to see you back on my next video. Thanks again, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.